bank account more important than your soul? And they be like, no, my bank account, my bank account ain't more, it's not more important than my soul. So I'll be like, okay, if the bank has sense enough to verify and ask for proof of your identity before giving you money that they are holding for you, because it is important to you and it is important to your livelihood. Your soul is not, and I can make 100 other examples using examples similar to this, right? But your soul, which is supposed to be the most important thing that you will ever have, ever, according to your religion in this book, God doesn't see it the same way. Okay, he doesn't take the same precautions, right? To say when you're confused about something, to say, let me show you. Everything in your life you have to prove. You have to prove who you are. You have to prove your identity. You have to prove your financial stability. You have to prove. You just can't walk in the bank and be like, hey, can I get a loan on a $200,000 house? It's not going to happen. Okay, everything has to be proven. The only thing that doesn't have to be proven by you or by your God, it's the thing that's the most important to you. But let me show you the hypocrisy, though. And let me show you how that's not so in your book. Moses. I don't like Moses. I thought Moses was a dirty dog. His character is, right? Because he's not real. He was talking to God. And this is in your book. And this validates my point that no one can refute. And I'm going to go over some other things that took place that exemplifies exactly what I'm saying right now. He's talking to God. And he's saying, God is saying, look, I want you to go back to Egypt. And this is what I want you to tell the Hebrews. Tell them that I've come to deliver them by your hand. And he said, this is what he said to God. And this is the same thing I'm saying to God. And this is, I'm pretty sure, the same thing that everybody else is saying to, if he was real. All right. They will not believe me. That's what he said right there in Exodus in the 4th chapter. But you know what? When you indoctrinated, when you've been taught since you was a little kid to not use your critical thinking and not use your mind, and you're afraid to think and say certain things. Let me tell you something about God, though. Only God knows your thoughts. You know why? Because you're him. Only God knows what you do when nobody else is around. You know why? Because you're him. Okay, so if you're thinking something like, well, God knows what you think. Of course God knows what you're thinking because you him. Of course God knows what you do when nobody else does. When nobody else is around, what you do in the closet, what you do behind closed doors. Of course God knows because you are him. Let me get back to my point. Moses told God, he says, God, they won't believe me. They won't believe what you told me to tell them. They won't believe me. So this is what God did. You remember the story, right? I know you've seen DreamWorks or Disney, whoever made that movie, Prince of Egypt. I know you've seen that, right? He gave him the staff. He says, that a staff in your hand? Let me see that. What is that staff in your hand? He said, throw it on the ground. Turn it into a snake. Pick it back up. Turn it back into a staff. He says, take this, go show them this, and they'll believe you, okay? There's many, many situations, things like that happen, right? God is talking to someone. They don't believe him. So they ask God to show them something to where they will believe, okay? I just want the same thing. The children of Israel, this is the point that nobody can refute. The children of Israel, over in the book of Joshua, because I ain't never read the book. They had the Ark of the Covenant, right? So now they got some writings. They got a book. And guess what happened? He told Joshua, he's like, go to the River Jordan and I'm going to open it up so that they will know, not believe, they will know that I am God. Okay. They got the book. They got the Ark of the Covenant with the words in it, chiseled out on some stone. They got God's word, and they got his actions, and they got his proof and his evidence, and he removing that doubt from their minds. Right? I just want the same thing they got. So they was told about God opening up the Red Sea and the Hebrews going through and the Egyptians kind of trying to go through and God closed it up, kill everybody. So they was told about that, but they didn't see it themselves. They saw other things probably, but they didn't see that. But guess what? Guess what? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Guess what he did? He said, "Look, I know y'all heard about this, and I know y'all ain't see it, but let me show you what I can do. Let me show you what I can do." Boom! Open up the River Jordan. They cross it, go right through. Everything's good. We got God. We know He real. So, like I said many times, the people in the Bible, they were seeing things with their own eyes, and they knew that whatever it is that they was doing, according to this story, that the thing was true and it was real. Okay. God didn't allow them to wonder. God didn't leave them in a state of confusion. Again, I said many times, it's like Paul. Jesus went to Paul personally when he was confused if he should be persecuting Christians or not. Came Paul, knocked him on his ass, and spoke to him directly, not through dreams, not through mysteries, not through, whatever, not through a piece of toast, not through some crying statue, but talk to Paul face to face conversation so Paul could know what it is he needed to do.